Bye.
Welcome in, guys. How are we doing today? I am your host of Creator of the Donut Table, Welsh Ginger. How is everyone?
Yeah, doing all right.
Yeah, we're good,
Excellent.
Not bad, not bad.
Hey there, Ross. How we doing? We have a great night planned for you guys. We've got some awesome guests, and we're going to go around and introduce everyone now. So let's start with Pastel.
Hey guys, I'm Pastor Ninja. I'm absolutely bonkers and I love horror games and I will catch you in streams all the time because I'm sad like that.
Tuna.
Hello, I'm Ghosty Tuna. I make apps for streamers, but also I'm playing a lot of Destiny and other roguelikes at the moment. And you'll probably see all of us at TwitchCon, probably, maybe. That's the current meme, at least.
And we have Sol for the first time.
Hello. Hi, I'm Sol. I'm a artist and very occasional streamer that I'm trying to do it more often. You can catch me. My socials are for Twitch is Sol the Shiny, and you can find me on ArtStation also under Sol the Shiny.
Awesome. Right. Today we've got plenty planned out. We're going to have a good chat. The big thing, as Tuna alluded to, next week is TwitchCon. And at least a couple of the people in this chat are going to TwitchCon. We have myself, Pastel, and Tuna.
Hello.
We are all going to be at TwitchCon next week, which is going to be freaking awesome. So, Tuna, I know you're doing something particularly special at TwitchCon.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a talk on the Sunday, talking nerd stuff with other nerds. Basically, yeah, my main bread and butter is that I make tools for streamers, and we're basically just doing a little talk, basically about just engaging like more developers getting into that space, because there's a bit of there's free real estate, essentially. That's basically it. Like, there's a lot of value to be gained on both sides. Like, streamers getting like bespoke tools or better ways of doing things, or being able to do things that they couldn't do before.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And that's basically where we're at. We're not going to be talking like code or anything, because that's just a bit of a waste of time, really, because not everyone's going to be into that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the play. We'll be there on Sunday night, Sunday evening.
That's awesome. We're gonna have to make sure we try and catch that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Like, I mean, the last TwitchCon kind of ruined conventions for me. Well, other conventions for me. So yeah, it'd be good to be
In a
back in the
good
crowd
way
again.
or a bad way?
I think yes is the right answer. Like, it was just a really good time. The swag was ridiculous.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was just really, it was good. It was a good crowd. It was a fun crowd. So yeah, that's basically the playing.
This is obviously going to be my first TwitchCon. It's your first as well, isn't it, Pastel, as well?
Yeah, my first TwitchCon.
Yeah. So
I mean, I've done other conventions, but none as big as TwitchCon.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. As a veteran, what would you advise, Tuna?
I mean, it's all got, like, anything I could have said has gone out the window because of what's happened the last few years.
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
So just go have a good time. Be like, things aren't good. Like, it's going to be chaos. Just you'll bump into people just randomly that you'll be like, I sort of know, like, oh yeah, one thing, like, introduce each other with your like handle name. Like, that's the important thing, because if someone comes up to me, it's like, oh, hello, I'm Steve. I'm like, I have no idea who you are. Like, who are you?
I'm Steve, the
man
in the corner.
So yeah, I'd be like, oh no, I'm such and such from chat. I'm like, oh, that makes more sense, because obviously in like being a streamer, like you struggled having faces to names.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People in your chat. And that's fine, but it's just a moment of, how do I know who you are? And I'm
Yeah.
gonna meet this like, are you a mystery stranger from the internet that I know, sort of?
It gets
So yeah,
confusing. Yeah.
it's gonna be it'll be good. Like I've got my business cards shipping hopefully this week.
Yeah,
I've
same here.
like I worked a convention back in June, and like I think business cards are still on. Partially at least, because I was a bit on the fence about it. Like I don't know how I don't know what the other creators have thought about this in terms of like promotion.
Well,
Like
I've made
how
my own business cards as well, so
fair. The
I didn't
just
because
what about just a bit of paper and can you draw a QR code like that?
no, I just honestly, for some reason, it just didn't pop into my head about doing that, and now I've looked at like potentially doing it. It's a bit last minute. I'll see if there's somewhere that can like do next day delivery. and
I mean,
hopefully it'll be
most
fine.
of the places I've been, it is like I mean I ordered mine on Saturday and I think they're turning up tomorrow. So
There's
timeline wise,
chance for me, yeah.
there's still chance. If not, there's a premium service out there for you.
yeah, the one I do does like a 3. I went with as like a 3-day turnaround, so you should be able to get something.
Fair.
That's fine. Yeah, I will do my best. I'll find something. I'll just look now. Like after we've come out of this.
Well, Bear Guy said you've got a
Stream.
printer. Get on it.
I mean, yeah, I have no excuse really. I have no excuse.
Streamseed. Pastel ditched the business cards for a
Pastel
megaphone and a flag.
Pastel just didn't big brain on this one.
Pastel doesn't need a megaphone.
Oh my god, could you imagine if I had a megaphone? Could you imagine if I went to TwitchCon with a megaphone? Guys, can I get a megaphone, please? I really, really want one. I need one for reasons.
Like, I mean,
A Streamseed branded one.
AliExpress for a tenner, I imagine, is probably about right. But
I'm
Let's have a look on
literally
eBay.
looking up the
Just-
prices of megaphones on Amazon right now.
Buy one on Amazon just so that you can deafen an entire hall. Just
you
become
know that
infamous.
hashtag Pastel broke Twitch?
Pastel broke TwitchCon.
There you go. That's what you need to scream. You just need to
Oh
walk
my God.
in, just announce really loudly,
Pastel
Pastel
just
broke.
Twitch.
Just
What we got,
mic
mate?
drop and leave. It's the only thing I was here
I'm
for.
dying. I'm actually dying. I'm
Lofty
actually
wants to know if we
taking
can write it
people
off
to laugh
tax.
Absolutely.
It's a business expense, I
It's
promise.
100% a Streamseed business expense.
Bear Guy. Well, if she gets a megaphone in her hands, you better get me a video. I'll do one better. I'll live stream it.
Oh god. Right,
We will
megaphone.
announce our arrival at TwitchCon with a megaphone. Oh, so Sol, what sort of have you been to any gaming conventions?
So I haven't been to gaming conventions, but I have volunteered for a couple of years running now for it's Wales Comic Con Telford Takeover is what it's
Oh,
known
yeah.
as at the moment. It used to be in Wrexham, but is now held in Telford because they just outgrew the convention space.
Fair enough.
It's run by a streamer. I probably should plug him, but I have terrible brain fog and I'm awful with names. Jamie is his name. He's a lovely dude.
Yeah.
But I got into it through they're going back to I'm being poked by my own chat. Going back to Wrexham in August if anybody wants to go. Say hello, and it's at Jamie Milner. I'm really glad that you're paying attention to Peg, because yeah, brain fog. It's lovely, but
Oh,
yeah, no,
amazing.
it's a lot of fun. It's great volunteering. It's great meeting new people. That's actually why I got into it. It
Yeah.
was to meet some of my D&D group for the first time. You saying earlier about putting faces to names in chat. I got invited because long-term D&D nerd by my current DM to a D&D stream. It's like it's going to be a bunch of newbies.
Mm.
I'd love to get you involved, like get people into it. One of them helps out run the con, and the first time going there, it's just like I've been given a description of you. Are you such and such? Because if you're not, this is about to be really fucking awkward. Just wandering up to random people. I thought you this person. Never mind. I'm just gonna go over here now and be anxious.
Have a full conversation with
I-
someone.
I
Until you
relate so
realise-
hard to that. I was at a con right once, and it was a cosplay con, so everyone's in costume, okay, which automatically makes people harder to find.
Oh yeah.
So my friend basically messaged me, saying I'm in such and such area of a con hall, and I'm dressed as Deadpool, and I was like, right,
God.
okay. So I walked to the end of a con hall, and there was about 25 Deadpools to choose from.
I did see that
So
coming.
naturally, I walked up to the wrong one and started talking to them. And they were just like, "I'm sorry, who are you?" And I was just like, "I'm just dying now."
Can I just like perish on the spot, just here and now, just end me?
Literally, I shrunk back. I was like, "Who are you?" I'm gone. That's where I am. Like, that's who I am.
I've just made a new friend.
Yeah, you're not the Deadpool we chose, but it's the one we've got. So
It's the one we need right now.
Best part is with Deadpool cosplayers is obviously all Deadpool cosplayers are really just like into that Deadpool persona. So
Yeah.
they're never mean. Like even if you like walk up and get the wrong one, like they're still gonna hang out with you. Like, you know.
It's just gonna be lovely.
So he literally just dropped a rubber duck on the floor and said, "Get him a duck," and I got him a duck, and I've got a video somewhere of that, and we'll talk about it later.
I need to see this video.
Literally, he made me sit in a rubber duck.
I just imagine
In.
though.
Yeah, it was a giant rubber duck.
okay,
Had a seat in it and everything.
I was getting a bit confused about space.
Yeah, 'cause it ain't gonna fit in there.
I'm only teeny, but like literally.
Yeah, on the webcam it can be like forced perspective. You could be like a borrower, I guess. Like you can't really tell like at scale, especially in obviously after the last few years with like who knows what anyone looks like anymore. Like in terms of scale.
He literally bought like I think it was like those like pool floats. It was one of them, but it was a rubber duck, and he was just like, "There's no time to explain. Get him a duck," and he just threw the duck on the floor, and I just jumped in it.
Lofty, yes, you better believe it. Dave is coming with me to TwitchCon.
And I am also taking Paul.
We got Dave and Paul visiting TwitchCon. And if I'd have thought about it, I'd have called it Carl. Because, well, yeah.
A Carl that kills people.
Yes. I can imagine, though, with like a Comic-Con, trying to identify one person as Deadpool, or, on the other side of things, anyone dressed as Harley Quinn. Because every
that's a really popular one.
it's Harley Quinn or Deadpool. I remember the last Comic-Con I went to, and it was like, oh, look, there's 50 million Deadpool and 50 million Harley Quinn.
I saw a Harley Quinn in like Space Marine armor once. That was good.
Now that's impressive.
That was like not your typical box fresh Harley Quinn. Like, yeah, I've got a baseball bat. No, she's got a power sword.
That's impressive.
It's got a chain blade. It's gonna smite you for the Emperor.
Sisters of Battle, Harley Quinn sounds amazing.
For the Emperor, though,
it could have been a sister. Like my Nottinghamshire blood is now leaking.
Yeah.
So that's
unfortunately,
it might have been. I can't remember.
Chain axe. Blood for the blood god.
Blood for the blood god, indeed. Do you know what's really funny to you is you've obviously just said what county you come from. Yeah. The county I'm from has quite a relationship with the county that Tuna's from. So
are we rival? I mean, I don't live there anymore because I got out because I was too bored of the wasteland that I lived in.
Wasteland.
Yeah, so that's
It's-
basically Nottinghamshire.
It's not great. It's not like it had a thing about grenade crime for a while. That was a bit spicy, but then I moved on.
That is
I just-
amazingly spicy. Like,
Yeah.
that's one way of phrasing that.
It was a hot
Nottinghamshire's
summer.
a place, but anyway.
Hot
I just
summer, so they
assumed-
started grenading people.
Yeah, it was
Fire in the hole.
yeah. It was one of
Yeah.
those hot summers.
But
But anyway,
To be
conventions.
fair,
Yes,
I just
conventions.
assumed Nottingham was Games Workshop and Robin Hood. That was it.
It is, but also grenades. Like it's a very
grenades.
weird Venn diagram in the grand scheme of things.
And Derbyshire's all about stone sheep.
Okay.
You'll see. Well,
Well,
you'll see.
Wales is just for actual sheep.
Yeah, well, basically, our football team is called the Rams. So the town mascot is a sheep that we call, what do we call it? It's Rammy or something like that. We're very creative people.
That's a
Um,
great name.
Yeah.
See, it's the only thing that people know about Milton Keynes is concrete cows.
Yeah, it is.
Concrete
yeah.
cows and roundabouts.
Now, it's interesting you mentioned Milton Keynes
I know.
because that was I went to the Comic-Con in the MK1 Centre a few years on the trot. That was really good. That was a
Yeah.
fantastic
Yes.
convention.
It's a lovely. It started off as like a really little convention. I'm
Mm.
pretty sure they moved it to the MK Bowl now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's still going. That's quite bad of me. But yeah, no, I used to go to that all of the time. It
Yeah.
was like my first cosplay was dressing up as members of the Akatsuki when I was Dinky and toddling around there, being really excited to see people, meeting new people, and
Yeah.
that's what got me into.
Sorry, just bear with me. I just need to take my phone off a very naughty cat. You were tied up there. Get off of Twitch. Sorry. Carry on.
Excuse me whilst I wrangle the donut.
Yeah,
cat.
sorry. Just stay. Anyway.
Wonderful.
Right. Yes, you were saying.
Oh, yeah, it's a dinky little con, but it's lovely, and you end up meeting people from one convention scene who start telling you about, others, and it dragged me into so much nerdy stuff. It's how I first
yeah.
got into Warhammer and that, and
yeah.
it's how I got into D&D was meeting people at that little convention, and then because you get into nerdy stuff, you get pushed to go to more conventions to
Yeah.
be introduced to even more nerdy shit.
Some of those games are gateway drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, Magic the Gathering is cardboard crack. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. We can talk about Magic. We can talk a lot about Magic.
Let's not talk about magic though, yeah? Let's not.
Let's not go down the wormhole.
Let's
Yeah.
not go down that vortex.
And exactly, Lofty, and Warhammer is plastic crack.
Oh, it is. I've got so much. Like Warhammer and D&D, I've got an entire wall full of miniatures that I
Yeah.
keep promising myself that I'm gonna finish painting.
It's never gonna happen. It's like a Mobius strip of painting. Like it's endless. Like you're like, oh, I'll just get these models and then put them on the backlog, and then it's like, oh, it's 4 years later. Oh, good.
I literally turn this way, and there's so many unpainted models on shelves that I need to paint. They're just tides of them.
Honestly,
I just need to
don't
get
give
famous
a-
so I can pay people to do it, because then it would just be better. Like it'd be better than what I can do.
I'm gonna
that's just
drop
cheating.
my DM
I
in
actually
here.
know someone. I actually know someone who does a service where he paints people's Warhammers for them and preps
Yeah.
like their boards and stuff.
That's
Yeah,
cool as fuck.
we're working the board game convention in Birmingham last month.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
My mate had a stand there, so I was like working the shop essentially. And it's just like everyone's just so good. Like all the people who've got stuff on show would be like, oh, you can buy my services of like get all these models painted for this price. I'm like, oh, that's tempting. Oh, that's really tempting. And it's like, No, I can't. I can't go down. That's a rabbit hole because then I can't just have one set of painters because that'd look weird. And then that's how they get you. That's how they get you.
Yeah.
See, for years now, my little local friend group, it's like, if you buy me paints, I'll paint your minis because it stops me buying more to add to my Dragon's Horde collection. It's like, buy me paintbrushes, buy me paints, and I'll do it for you.
Sorry,
There's-
just cutting,
there's-
guys. Lofty's asked a
yeah.
question.
Yes, so we got. Do you think COVID is going to cause numbers to drop at conventions? I'd probably say so, potentially.
I honestly am going to say no, given the turnout for the MCM London alone this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, more people turned up.
UKGE was a bit weird because it was on the weekend of the Jubilee.
Oh yeah.
So like
Yeah.
numbers were weird in terms of like footfall was spread a bit differently with the last few years when I'd worked it. I mean, at this point, like COVID is a thing we're living with.
Yeah.
Like it's getting. I mean, the fact that it's going to be more problems getting if you're flying into the country more than anything. Like the back, it's basically like everything that's happened over the last few years. It's now we're dealing with the effects of that. I mean, I'm going to be like, I've got a load of new masks. If it gets a bit too spicy, I'll be masking up. Like I'll be shaking people's hands, but also antibacterialing myself in some sort of like. I'm gonna have an inflatable pool with me, just with hand sanitizer in, just to if anyone hugs me, just go and have a little roll in it.
Set up the godly Dettol pool. Everyone can have a splash.
So for a little bit of like insider information, because I've got G-Bag who's with me in the D&D stream, but also helps run Wales Comic Con, has just said, so COVID increased numbers, people were hankering to get back to an event, but the increase in costs right now has lowered individual spends at events. And honestly, I think one of the biggest things is a lot of people, especially a lot of people who consistently attend these events, it's a big part of their social calendar and their social year, especially for us nerds who, like, most of us have anxiety TM. So those regular events where we see people once or twice become such a big thing to us. And it means that, like, when you can't attend it for whatever reason, you don't get a chance to face connect with people that you've built up this big rapport with, or, you know, spend time with them. And for a lot of people, it's like such a big event for them that I can imagine that the moment those restrictions were eased up, it was like, fuck yeah, we can go back. I keep dropping F-bombs, my bad. I can go out.
It's usually me.
It's
Yeah,
the
my bad.
bucks in me. I'm a nerd, but like I come from such chavvy stock.
Like socially, you're in a car park doing donuts. But
Yeah,
also...
pretty much. Like genetic wise,
Wait,
Yeah.
in a car park
here.
doing donuts in which way? Because like there's been in a car, you know, in a car park like doing donuts, and then there's been in a car park like doing donuts. You know what I mean?
What does that mean? I'm going to put a pin in that. We're going to put a pin in that.
Pastel needs to explain this.
Well, I mean,
the
when
after
I steal
hours.
my donuts, I have to go and make the evidence disappear somewhere, you know?
See, me, yeah, it would be me in a car park cramming Dunkin' Donuts or what's the Krispy Kremes? That's it, Krispy Kremes.
Okay, so that is my
place.
kind of doing donuts in my car park. That's okay.
Yeah, that's my kind of doing donuts.
Donuts Swift is making us dirty. I was on about like because you mentioned my chavvy background and like where I'm from, chavs are often like if you get any car park, they're just sat there with the cars like trying to do donuts. Of course, they can't drive, so it's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
but like
that's
you
what
know.
it's like around here. We have a massive stretch of the A5 that goes through residential areas, so of course people just gun it down there full speed. Like,
Doughnut Swift. I like that. You're calling for Mama Pastel's help, but where do you think I learned it from?
cat needs controlling.
He keeps grabbing my phone. I am sorry, guys. I keep snatching it back off him, but
You need to beat him.
The
I mean,
yeah,
I
like,
really could,
like
but it
to-
might cast.
I guess to back up Soul's point, the board game convention, like it is like it's your yearly event. Like people were dropping thousands of pounds on new board games, and that's
Yeah.
for the year. Like they're going there to do that, right? So
Oh man.
and they're not going to let that get in the way, if you know what I mean. Like a bit of anxiety about the after effects, I guess.
To
But
be
yeah,
fair,
and everyone's getting back to it. Like, I mean, I've been going to gigs and stuff recently again,
Yeah.
and that's
yeah,
been
same.
like, I mean, just the backlog has been quite good for the social calendar. Not good for merch sales. So yeah, I think,
Oh.
like,
I agree what you
it'll
mean
have a-
though. Like,
it'll have a presence, but it won't. It's just it'll just change things a little bit, I think.
Well, it's the
Yeah.
I
impact
get what you
it
mean though.
also
Like,
has.
I keep trying to talk and I keep cutting people.
No,
off.
no, no, no.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Pastor.
I was just gonna go with Ghosty Tuna made a point about like the over expenditures on like board games. Now that things have opened up, I'm not gonna lie, I spent 200 quid on a board game like just this year. Hey.
Well, we've been talking about like the future now. We're going and get conventions we got to coming up, but I just had a thought. What's everyone's first convention?
MCM
First one you've ever
Telford.
been to?
My first one was I saved up for like all of my pocket money. This is how long ago it was, and I convinced my entire friend group, and this was back when MCM London Expo was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're all going to go down. We're going to go down for one day. It will be great. And it was when I was in school. It was awful. I could not sleep the night before. I had the worst insomnia. So I got maybe 2 hours sleep because I was anxious about getting the train and everything.
Oh
We
bless
went
you.
down there. It was the early year one. So it was like March, May time. And it was ridiculously hot, and I do not deal with the heat very well, and I was in full get up. It was before I transitioned, so like female presenting, wig, hair done, makeup, everything. Got there, sweating buckets, and then we ended up losing each other. So there's me on 2 hours sleep, desperately toddling around this hot as hell convention center trying to find people. And this was back when, it was before smartphones. So
Yeah.
it's me with a Nokia 3210 desperately trying to get signals so I can call my friends. And eventually they found me outside, and I'm so glad that it's not there anymore. But there is a picture of me with wig slipping, and they took the picture as I blinked.
Oh
So
no.
it looks awful. I look really, really out of it. And it was somebody asking for my photo just as my friends appeared as well.
Oh,
So I look
no.
out of it and surprised. And it was
Oh,
that kind of summarized my first convention experience. It's gotten much better since then.
they can be so overwhelming. Let's be honest.
I think I remember going to a gaming convention at the XL, but I
Yeah.
can't remember what its name was. Like
Was
this
it EGX or any of them?
it was pre EGX.
Oh,
like,
pre-EGX. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So
I
want to say it was
not
called
pre-EGX.
I want to say it was Game Stars or something. I must have been what, 14, 15? Like, I'm trying to think when that was, because time is an elusive beast.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Is Insomnia held at the XO? I can't remember where
No, I think
Insomnia is held.
Yeah, it's way before. Well, by the time I'm somebody must have been a thing, but I think that's always been at the NEC.
Mm.
It was basically the XL. It was basically got like, here's you've been dropped off at the XL. Go play some video games, then come back. That was basically it.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah,
you,
there's something
Pat?
like, but yeah, I think EGX has been like the one I've been going to the most.
Yeah.
I love EGX. It's such a good con.
So yeah, it's a shame that they swapped it back to London. It's such a pain.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
NEC is so much more convenient for everyone if you
Yeah.
don't live in London.
What was your first one, Pastel?
My first one was actually MCM Comic Con in Telford. So it's kind of it was a big con, like obviously for me, just starting out, but it obviously wasn't the biggest con you could get in the UK.
Yeah.
But I just remember that day was amazing. I'd gone with my friends. We'd hired this bus. It was just like 50 of us in cosplay on this hired
Oh,
bus,
wow.
and we just went off, and it was amazing. Absolute experience, and I've just loved the convention circuits ever since.
Yeah.
That's why I started doing like competitive cosplay and everything. I just got really into it. Like I went and watched the cosplayers on stage, and I was just like, I want to do that, and I did for ages, about 10 years. I did, and then I
That's
stopped
awesome.
because I took a break and didn't quite get back into it.
Well, I'm racking my brains trying to think of the first one I went to. I've done like the Milton Keynes ones, and then I remembered I go way back to when I was about, I've got to have been when I was like 14 or 15, so about 300 years ago. I went to Game Day by Games Workshop Game Day.
Oh damn!
That was the first. I went up with the Cardiff store, the Cardiff Games Workshop store. They organised a bus. We went up there. We're all marching around with a big Cardiff banner. Yeah, that was quite epic.
Mm.
It wandered around with like loads of people dressed as Space Marines and a full-size rhino. It was quite insane.
Awesome
I'd
though.
love to go to one of the game days or one of the biggest armies on parade. I have been
Yeah,
lovingly handcrafting a Warhammer Fantasy Tzeentch and Skaven army
nice.
that I really, really would like to take to one of the armies of parade at some point, because some of them, just seeing some of the things that other people do, like I
Yeah,
think that's one of the draws of cons as well,
Mm.
is seeing the creative side of the community
yeah,
is wonderful. Just the artwork, the products that people make for your little communities, especially talking way back when, like going a decade back, like finding local communities for anything nerdy could be really, really
oh
difficult.
yeah,
So these big kind of holy grail points of the year where it's like you don't feel quite so alone because there are other people out there who share interests with you.
yeah,
And I think like a lot of the older convention goers, that's what has cemented it as such a big point in the year for them. Because they remember a time like before Twitch, before things like this, and even speaking about it now, I'm starting to feel old. Oh my god. But like it becomes so cemented in your mind that that was how you met people in the community.
yeah,
And I'm glad that they still exist, and if anything, weirdly enough, streaming and like other mediums like that have just opened more people up to it.
yeah,
And that's wonderful to see because it's gone from being this niche interest in you were maybe one person at your school or in your local area who was interested in
Mm.
D&D or Pathfinder, or like maybe you could find a really small group for
yeah,
Warhammer because they tend to have local stores. And thanks, Rinka. You are old grandpa. Yeah, I feel it.
It's true though. Like when I was a kid, I was in a school of like 1,500 students strong, and I was the only one there who liked anime.
Mhm.
Only one.
In my
Yeah.
entire school, we found 4 people, similar size, about 1,500 people, 4 people who liked D&D, and we played
Madness,
religiously
isn't
for
it?
3 years. Yeah.
What about chat? Can you remember the first cons you went to, guys? See how many people remember their first convention.
Or if you haven't
Um,
been to a convention, would you like to go to one?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's gonna be because the last TwitchCon we went to, there was like a developer meetup on the Friday night, I think.
Yeah.
There's people in that room I've now met, like being in chat and stuff, that like the following few years. So now I'm like, oh, actually, I know these people. It's like the reverse, where I couldn't like meet everyone in that room on the night, and now it's like, oh, it's going to actually meet these people, and there's people that you only get to see like they say like once a year during these meetups, because obviously you're all in the same place for the same reason, and that's
Yeah,
what's quite nice.
I'm looking forward to it. It's wondering what to expect. Like, I've seen like the lineup for what we've got, and there's so many different talks and events going on. It's a bit overwhelming. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's gonna be because yeah, timeline wise, the time just flies as well, but you just
Yeah.
have to enjoy it. Like you're only
Yeah.
there, you got to live in that moment, be like an Alsatian and just live in the moment.
That is one thing I'm really, really glad for now that conventions are becoming bigger, is especially because so much of the community is like neurodivergent or, you know, has additional needs. We're finding more and more like quiet rooms and stuff like that, and that's mind blowing to me. So a lot of these bigger cons, I'm not sure about TwitchCon because I haven't gone, but I know a lot of like the MCM and Wales Comic Con, they have frameworks there for people to be able to enjoy it, even if you do find crowds or things like that overwhelming. And being able to kind of look ahead and plan what you can hit is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I've made use of many a quiet room at a convention sometimes.
Because it's lovely. It really is. There's no putting to words really what the atmosphere is like and that sense of camaraderie. But it doesn't matter how much you're enjoying something. If it's lots of information, and it can be nice to have that safety mechanism in place for you.
Get away from that sensory overload.
Yep. Massive overload sometimes. Like,
I'm looking forward to seeing how many different cosplays and all that we see, because I know they've got sort of,
oh my god, my phone is gonna just be filled with photos. I'm gonna be such a fucking fangirl. Like, hi, I want a picture of you. Hi, I want a picture of you. I want a picture of you. I'm gonna be awful.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
But to be fair, cosplayers love that shit. So
yeah. Well, why wouldn't you dress up like that? But yeah, obviously we got TwitchCon coming up. But has anyone got any other conventions planned in the works?
I mean, EGX maybe, depending on plans and timelines.
Yeah.
I know because Gamescom is coming up before then, I think.
Yeah, I want to do MCM Birmingham in November because it's always around my birthday. So
yeah, that'd be a good one.
Like I live in the southwest of the UK, so like the NEC is so much easier to get to than it is to London.
yeah, London's a pain in the ass. Like, even we have a direct train from my town to London, and even then, it's still a nightmare. It's awkward.
What have we got there from Orange? I went to Games Workshop anniversary in Manchester 2007, not 2017. Can't read. I was at uni without my army, so didn't play. And the thing was just a warehouse hangar with everyone playing, a few dioramas, but it was good fun. Oh, that's cool.
That is
That's
cool. That
awesome.
sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
So there's a
Is there
few
anything?
like smaller conventions I've been to, and I've heard about. Like, it's such a different vibe as well,
Yeah.
but it's still that same level of connection, and you're all there for the same reason. It's just that there's less head count, less of a
Yeah.
fire risk.
Yeah.
I got to check when the next Cardiff Comic Con's on, because that's always a good laugh. Fair enough, you end up wandering around and, oh, look, it's Spot the Deadpool. But yeah, Cardiff Comic Con's always a good laugh. I got to meet a fair few really cool celebrities for that one as well. Name drop.
I actually now that I've been to Cardiff and I know I can kind of like get there kind of not very easily, but I can get there. I'm actually tempted to do Cardiff Comic Con now, like
Yeah, it'd be
because
good.
even though it was a very, very long drive, I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably get a train next time. But even though it was a very, very long drive, I honestly much preferred the Cardiff vibes to London. So I think if I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to one in a capital, I'll pick Cardiff over London next time.
Yeah, come on down. It'd be good. It's always a good laugh. Hi there, Gilbert. How are you doing? But yeah, as I say, we sorry, there's a load of birds going mental outside my window. But yeah, Cardiff Comic Con is always a good laugh. Who was it? One of my funniest memories from it was meeting, Game of Thrones,
Mhm.
Sirio Farrell, the Not Today.
I'm trying to remember what the actor's name is.
What do we say? Yeah, I can't remember his
remember.
name.
But yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah, I know the name. I probably know the face, but I mean, Game of
He's
Thrones fell out the zeitgeist faster than anyone could even project that would fall.
He was the one right in the beginning of season 1. The what do we say to the God of Death guy.
Oh,
that guy,
yeah.
the dancing teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes more sense. There we go.
I went up to him and said, "How many times have you been asked to say it?" And he just looked at me and so many.
You just at that point, you just get a button, right? Like, you just get a button. You record.
Yeah,
it
just
once.
record it and just press it. Like, just carry
yeah.
a stream deck around with a speaker attached. Just all
Yeah,
your
today.
best quotes.
It was just the look on him. He just went, so many. But what do we say to the God of Death? It's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a good point, actually. You met anyone interesting or famous on your trips and conventions?
So volunteering for Telford and that, and having the bad habit of being an ex-smoker, now vapor, being outside for a break, you often run into people.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mark Shepherd is lovely. Such a lovely, lovely dude. We ended up chatting for ages. He asked me how many times I'd been to the con, asked me if I was planning on coming again, said that he loved the atmosphere and the people there, asked me if I had any family, stuff like that. And we ended up getting chatting. And the next year I was there, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be a face in the crowd. You
Yeah.
won't have remembered me. He spotted me and he was just like, how's the wife and the kiddo? And it was like, what the?
Oh, that's so cool.
It was lovely. And Tom Scar,
Oh,
I
Tom's is great.
I was dressed up as a tiefling from D&D.
Yeah.
And yeah, cosplaying a D&D character, I got asked all sorts. I got asked if I was a character from Nope, brain fog. Name of the TV show's gone. I got asked if I was from like 6 different things, and every time I had to be like, "No, I'm an original
Oh.
character. OC, do not steal."
Just a second. Just a second. Sorry. Static Suppressor, thank you for the gifted sub. Much appreciated. Gilbert, enjoy the gifted sub.
Woo!
Hey.
Carry on.
But I had this 6-foot-long white tiefling tail that I had had and sewn, right? So it was long enough that most of the time I had to pick it up. But people were amazingly good at keeping an eye out of it. And I wandered
Yeah.
past his stall a couple of times, and he was just like, "Has anybody stood on that?" And it was like, "No, I'm the only person to have stood on it today." He was like, "I'm amazed. Has anyone tripped over it?" And it was like, "Again, me. Only me."
7 people are in the hospital.
Yep. Because I tripped over and launched myself into them like bowling ball.
My biggest claim to fame at a convention, I got to meet a good bunch of the cast of A Walking Dead.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they totally got my name wrong. They think I'm called Marnie, and I'm okay with it.
That's your life. That's who you are now. That's.
I'm just to the cast
Yep.
of Walking Dead, I'm Marnie, and I won't even question it. But just, hey Marnie, I'm just like.
Which ones were? Who did you meet? Was it Negan? Tell me it's Negan.
No, it wasn't Negan. Negan wasn't that. So I
Oh.
got to meet oh god, I've actually got to remember their names now. I met the lady who played Maggie.
Yep.
Glenn.
Yep. Oh, poor Glenn.
The I can't remember the names. Rick's son.
Oh, Carl.
That's it, Carl.
You forget.
Sophia and her mum, whose name has totally escaped me, and that annoys me because she's my favorite character.
Carol.
That's it, Carol. That's the one. And there was one more there, but it was
Gilbert, you know it.
It was one of the. It was like he was one of the old bad guys. This is when season 2 was still like big.
Oh yeah.
So he was like one of the old bad guys, and I just can't place him right now. But yeah, they were all there, and yeah,
That's
it was
cool.
really, really, really cool. Like it was awesome talking to them. They were really, really nice people. But yeah, they think I'm called Marnie, and I'll take it.
Doesn't even sound like your name.
Oh no! I was just so they were like, oh, who am I making the signature out to? I was like, oh, it's Lana. I was like, Marnie, brilliant. I was like, okay.
All right. Sticking with it.
I'm on the phone to Deed Poll already. Like,
Yeah, I'm Marnie now. I'm that dog from the film that made everyone cry.
Oh. Don't remind me of that film.
Also, you just lost the game.
Oh.
I'm trying to think if I actually have met anyone famous. At a con, at least.
I gotta say.
Sorry, did you just hear my cat beep?
No.
No? I mean,
No.
Sorry, my cat, every time he jumps off something, he beeps to himself.
You've got a robot for a cat.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's the half named coon. He's Cullen, and he is mahoosive and more closer in personality to a dog than a cat.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, one of the funniest moments I had at a con was meeting John Rhys Davis.
Oh my.
He was interesting. He did a talk where he basically told everyone never to be an actor because it's an awful career.
Okay.
Literally, we were sat there talking about it and going like, "Is he all right? Is he hurting inside?" But then I met him like afterwards, and he sort of asked me what I did for a living. At the time, I was working for like data recovery company. And so he started asking me tech advice on how to fix his memory stick and things like this.
Oh, amazing.
I was like, oh, yeah, I could help if you want.
Claim to fame was tech support for John Rhys Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting time. But yes, as I say, we're looking forward to doing TwitchCon now, and obviously we got more cons coming up. With I know we got the Streamseed brand event for GSCon coming up, which is another big one. But there's another question I'm going to ask.
I had to, Orange. I had to.
There's another question I'm going to ask because there's another topic we were going to discuss today.
Yes.
And we were going to talk about scamming. A little bit more of a grim topic, but I know it seems to be quite rife at the moment on Twitch. There's a lot of scams going on, a lot of less than scrupulous people. Exactly, Lofty. Hi, would you like to buy viewers?
I mean, I've not seen those bots around recently. I don't know if have I just avoided them.
I had one in my last stream.
Would you like to be famous?
Yeah. Always would you like to be famous?
Fair enough.
Literally, and there's always obviously there's those bot ones, but there's obviously the more nasty, more targeted scams through Discord as well. Like
Yeah.
I've already fell to one of those where I got my accounts completely hacked.
Yeah, that
Which
was not a
my
good day.
amazing friends at Streambase helped keep me sane through because I was like breaking down and they were just like, stay calm, do this. But like even like today, just before this stream even started, actually I had someone messaging me posing, I think, as well as a service. I'm not gonna out them because I'm not vindictive, but they were posing as a service and they were like, oh, we can do this, this, and this, and this. Can you pay us this much? And I was just like, and like, you know, but you just got to be so careful at the minute. So it's ridiculous. And it's not just those kind of scams either. Like I've noticed a lot of streamers themselves like will actually do really scammy stuff these days as well, just either to get clout or to get a few subs or to get some money or to get a donation. It's shocking. Shocking.
I know that there was. I mean, this is like pretty basic on terms of the like the scumminess, but basically, I know there was the trend that everyone had their sub counters on stream, but there was always like there'd always be one or two off. To just like game on people's minds to get that, just for obviously the liking the round numbers. But like the more insidious, like getting into, I mean, the big one was CS:GO betting, right?
Yeah.
Of all of that was one of the of history. That's one of the biggest ones. And then people were just like, "Oh no, it's fine. Oh, it's a bit funny." People just moved on. It's like, really, you're still giving this guy front page slots? Really?
Yeah, it's so bad.
League had a similar scam in the last 2 years, actually, to that. It was people betting on pro play, and yeah, the people behind it eventually just took the money and ran.
Ugh. Bad.
Wasn't Drake's recent betting on Twitch all scam as well, because it was playing with house money. It wasn't real. It's basically playing with Monopoly money.
And like obviously we've all seen those graphics designers as well messaging us out of nowhere. But have you seen of the most recent scams where people are actually taking artwork from, say, streamers or VTubers or whatever, any content creator that's got any like kind of like, say for instance, Lofty's got an awesome logo. Someone would come along, take that logo, just completely like download it, turn it into an NFT, then try and say that they own all the rights to it, and then try and sell it back to the streamer. Absolutely ridiculous. Like that's one
So-
that's going off at the minute.
Because I have an art station and I do some stuff like that, that is a real issue with a lot of art sites, is if you have a piece of artwork that you spend hours on and looks like it could be something that they can take, they will attempt to, and even mint NFTs without your knowledge, or they hope to prey on people who maybe don't have the funds or are hoping for a big break by baiting them with well, if you come make NFTs for us, or if you come give us your artwork, we'll give you some tokens or something like that, and then we'll take money and run basically, or we'll just steal your artwork and bugger off with it.
Yeah, I mean it's I mean that it's just the platform that's changed, right? Like that's always been a problem. Like it's like you can't really do much. Well, you can't really do much about it, right? You can watermark it to all hell, but still people are taking it and minting it because they're just that pathetic. Basically, like, well, it's mad. Like they think they get away with it.
Yeah. In regards to Welsh, she's just having a slight technical issue. The birds didn't get him, but he will be back shortly.
Fair enough.
So we'll just keep chatting. We'll just keep chatting away.
I'm trying to think what. Yeah, apart from like, obviously a lot of crypto scams at the moment. The betting situation is pretty bad because not like, yeah, any kind of. Like, I'm not a gambling man, so like, I'm not one to like understand it any like be like dragged in anyway with that. But yeah, it's that's what I kind of see as the biggest scams at the moment. Apart from obviously the classic. Oh, we've sent you these JPEGs. Open it up, and it's all exe files, and you're like, maybe not, maybe.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing, like the game has changed a lot, especially because a lot of the old scams now, they're catching people who aren't tech savvy. Like that was when the internet first began to become prolific and used not just by, nerds, but began to become mainstream. It was email scams were the most widestream ones, hoping to catch, grandma and her first Outlook account.
Yeah.
And now it's more insidious ones with like NFTs and cryptocurrency scams. Those things are with the economy the way that it is at the moment, they're targeting people who are vulnerable, and post COVID and post issues like that, they're basically at a fuck it point. That's the kind of people that scams want. They don't just want people who aren't necessarily savvy, or there's this mindset that it's only gullible people that are caught by scams.
Mm.
But it's if you are in a vulnerable emotional place, you're less likely to care about long-term consequences
Yeah.
because
100%.
if I've got no prospects, what does it matter if I throw away
Thousands and
nothing?
thousands of pounds, yeah,
Mm.
or nothing, or yeah, you're 100% right. Scammers, I mean, this is just my opinion, but they're the lowest of the low, like in terms of how they steal like stuff from you. They're just, if thieves had a tier of like how they carry out their craft, scammers are at the lowest point. Like they are in the pig shit. Like, just awful, awful, awful people.
Because it's I guess like in terms of like what you can do against it is just make sure that no one's ever going to be like from HMRC calling you up through Twitter DMs, and like yeah, keeping like always just question whenever an email comes through and being like, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
Not just that, but like going back, there's two broad spectrum kind of scams. You'll get ones that will either promise you something or will attempt to appear legitimate. And they're usually slow burn. They'll ask for a deposit, or they'll ask you to do something with your account. Those are they'll build up a rapport with you. The other kind of scam is one that relies on adrenaline. They'll give you real terms. If you do not do this, there will be immediate consequences, and it will be something that you won't like. Your bank account will be locked, or you'll lose access to your Twitch account or to your Discord. It will be closed because there's an issue with it. And they will try and keep you in that adrenaline mindset because if you're panicking, again, it's this case of you're not thinking about long-term consequences, you're thinking about the here and now.
Yeah.
So anytime you're uncertain or unsure, give yourself 5 minutes. And if you've got somebody on a phone call or somebody on the end of Discord who won't give you 5 minutes, they're most likely not legitimate
Yeah.
because there are very few legitimate avenues who, if you say, I need 5 minutes to go check on my cat or to, you know, go speak to my family or something's come up, I need to put you on hold for just a little while.
Yeah, so I'm not laughing at you, Silver. Someone's put a comment in the chat saying, "Hello, my name is George," and then it's the phone jacker, the old phone jacker me. It just made me giggle. Sorry.
It's okay. Hey, G-Bag.
Yeah, just making sure that, I mean, like, so one of the good like things you should like undo. So whenever you log into a service, right? So from a developer side of things, one of the big things is having access to. So when you like sign in with like Twitch or any of your other social media profiles, right? Make sure to like every so often just remove those keys and that access, and have a bit of maintenance every now and again, because if those keys get compromised, you can basically do anything with them.
Yeah, I learned after I got hacked, and I literally reset everything, all the keys, everything, signed out of every damn device, and then literally only set it up to sign in off like the immediate devices I could use.
Two-factor authorization as well, when you can set it
Mm.
up, making sure that you do have it set up. Like, one of the few places I didn't have it set up was on my League account because I'm in bronze. Like, it's a bronze account. Who's gonna want it? And yeah, that was a mistake. Luckily, I got it back, but you definitely should set it up everywhere you can.
Yeah, I mean, some of the biggest hacks recently in the crypto space have been basically because they've not been removing those keys after time, and it's led to like hundreds of millions of dollars. It's absurd, the numbers that have kind of just been lost because of that.
Well, one of the things about cryptocurrency, one of the big ones that I remember reading about recently was people were putting tokens in people's wallets because NFTs can hold anything. It doesn't have to just be a JPEG, which is what a lot of them are. It can be code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can be anything. So they were gifting people tokens that were malware essentially. So when people logged in to view those wallets or to interact with them in any way, it was stealing details. And because some of these wallets were connected to bank accounts to withdraw the funds into once they'd been exchanged to other mediums, be it dollars or something else, it was stealing and rinsing for anything that they could get a hold of.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay.
All right.
Welcome back. We thought the birds had got you.
Eaten alive
Literally,
by
just
crows.
everything just shut down on me.
They mistook him for a Cornish pasty. It's just it happens.
You should
Seagulls are
moisturize, mate.
savage.
A bit of moisturization.
There's that flakiness on his scalp.
This is now the roast of Welsh Ginger. I mean, he just like rip the shirt off. It's got a suit underneath, and it's just like.
So what did I miss? What have we?
Scams.
Yeah,
we've cloned you. We've
That's
cloned
all right,
your retinas and bank account details.
Cool.
Cheers for the mortgage. See you later.
You'd be lucky.
If you don't pay us £250 now,
Yeah, you're
be
gonna
releasing
need
your
new
account.
eyes.
Well, I ain't getting my account released.
Rip.
But yeah, so what sort of scams have we mentioned then? It's just general phishing type stuff, is it?
I
We've
mean,
mentioned pretty much all of them, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've gone
we've
through a
just kind of
cycle.
So yeah, like we've gone through like authentication scams. We've gone through like obviously. I mean, would it be like? Is that like obviously we were talking about like CS:GO betting, that entire scandal of being like, oh yeah, you could win.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's all rigged. Cheers for the cash, mate. Trying to think what else. Yeah, like Soul has some good points about how they'll be pushy to try and get you to make a decision. And that yeah, there's some interesting things you need to keep aware of.
Yeah.
But luckily, yeah, it's a tough audience, right? Because obviously most people here are quite tech savvy.
Yeah.
And then it's only going to be the real peak target. Like we're not going to be the targets for like a lot of effort that goes into scams, right? They're going to go for the trying to catching people in a net.
What about
yeah. So yeah, what about you, Ginger? Where do you sit on the scam edge?
I was thinking, what about more personal ones where you've got, like, for example, on Twitch, where you could potentially have someone using their position as a streamer to try and.
Oh, I briefly touched on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, for example, say someone saying they need money for something, donate to me for this, and then suddenly unveiling they've purchased a new blooming 3080 or something like that. Is that scamming, or is it just someone saying? Is it just more unscrupulous?
I think it's scamming. I think it's scamming because you're telling people, you know, to hand over your money for insert specific reason here, and then you're clearly not gonna use the money for what you're saying you're gonna use the money for. It's not very transparent, and there's intent behind that, so it is scamming. Sure.
I wonder how chat would feel about that. Would you be all right with it, or is it dodgy in your mind? Because I agree with you, Pascal. It's potentially shady.
I mean, in terms of legal, a scam is when you intentionally lie to embezzle money out of people and then don't use obviously the money that you're embezzling in the way that you promised you were going to.
Yeah,
that is a scam by legal definition. So well,
it's like there's been plenty of charity scams to the point where there have been people on Twitch or YouTube who have promised that they were gonna give money to a good cause and then have cut and run.
Oh, the classic one was that World of Warcraft streamer, wasn't it? The guy who said he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And then he stood up on the
stream. Yeah, and it's just like. Do you know the maddest thing about that story, right? He came back, got partner again, and then got banned again when they realized who he was. Like, was there no checks?
I missed this one. What was it? What happened again?
So there was a Warcraft streamer. He was famous at the time. He was like a big streamer, and he was he claimed he was in a wheelchair in all of his streams. Claimed he was like paralyzed or something, like severe disability. And in one of his streams, he left his cam on without realizing. So like he went to go to his be right back screen, didn't be right back, and he just stood up out of his chair, walked off, and went and got whatever he was going to be right back for, and everybody saw it. Everyone.
The exchange between him and his missus at the time, who she's like trying to talk in code to like tell him that he was on camera, is incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
The thing that really, really annoyed me about that particular stream as well is because they don't think about the knock-on effect that it has for people who
Yeah.
actually have disabilities that come in phases, like MS,
Yeah.
fibromyalgia, which I have. Like, there are plenty of disabilities, including a lot of autoimmune disabilities and IBD, where your fatigue will be worse some days than it is others.
Mm.
Like, for extended conventions, oftentimes I'll bring a wheelchair with me just so that I have it,
Yeah.
because if I get too tired or like if something happens, I have it there so I can get back to my hotel room and I can pass out.
Yeah. I mean, better to
And
have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right?
exactly. And the amount of crap you get, because people have seen stuff like that. They've seen people fake it to prey on people's
Yeah.
emotional, like, oh, well, he's got a disability and he's trying his best. So, support people in the community who need it. And they do not think about the knock-on effect that it actually has for people who do have disabilities like
Yeah.
that, who like come in phases. Angry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
won't- carry on.
it's not just streamers as well. Like across the content creation board, like you've got influencers and stuff who will like I'll give you an example in the travel circuits because I used to be a travel influencer before I changed to Twitch. But like the amount of travel influencers who will just try and scam like free hotel stays and stuff at like leading resorts just because they're an influencer and they'll take pictures and you'll get media coverage. Like that's scamming too. Like you're basically saying, "Oh, I'll just take a few photos if you give me shit for free." Like that's you know what I mean? As it's why a lot of content creators and influencers keep getting a bad name. It's why the profession's looked down on so much because
Yeah.
so many scammers ruin it. Like the actual image of a content creator as a job, like people's concept in their head, oh, you're just scamming people then. It's like,
Just
well,
trying to
no.
get free stuff out of us.
Yeah. Like if you're a legitimate content creator, you're not scamming anyone. You're genuinely trying to run a business.
I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever won anything on Gleam. You know, those social media entry giveaway.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Has
Yeah.
anyone ever like
I've
have
entered
you actually
them before and then realized that they're not what they say they are
Yeah.
and just don't.
I've actually won. I won my graphics card on it.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not. It turns out not all of them are a scam.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair.
So
That's good to
like,
know.
I'm the only one I know who has actually won something on a Gleam. Like, it's because I got an email. I got an inbox from Zotac, and they're
Oh,
like, "Oh yeah,
Gilbert's won something on Gleam.
oh nice." I mean,
Yeah.
it turns out they're not all a scam. So yeah, it's bizarre. Like until that point, I'd not encountered anyone.
I don't know anyone who's entered a Gleam competition and won it.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah, there's a few of them.
So yeah,
like
that feels
around,
like a
isn't there?
scam, but I don't think it is. Like I think a lot of people go in there with good intentions, but I don't think I think it's an accidental like look on the product, if you know what I mean. Like it makes it look like it's a scam when when it was obviously legit. Like I
Yeah.
think 99% of them are legit, but then there's no evidence that anyone actually wins. So
There we
I'm
go.
always questioning like, was that legit?
There we go. So Job in the chat has actually said like they work for Wales Comic Con and they get loads of influencers trying to get free tickets and stuff when actually they're just usually people with a few friends on Twitter.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's as bad.
that's Chewbag, who I have dragged in from my stream.
Ah.
It's he is the reason that I got into Wales Comic Con and started volunteering.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool. Jubag, you're a
Yeah.
legend.
But yeah, I can see like you get a lot of influencers trying to swag something out of what they're not.
Yeah.
But another thought, what about the other way around? We've said about streamers trying potentially scamming their viewers. What about the other way around? A viewer trying it with their off with a streamer, maybe trying to get the good intentions of a streamer who they've gotten to know and trying to take advantage of that. Anyone ever heard of anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually happened to me.
Oh, has it?
Yeah. So obviously I can't name names or anything, but there was a viewer once who had an issue. I won't say what the issue was because obviously I want to keep this kind of, I don't want to be vindictive or anything and out them, but
Yeah.
they had an issue and they needed to raise money to solve said issue, and me being who I am, I like to think of myself as kind and generous. And it was a time when I was still fairly new to streaming, and I didn't really know how to navigate chat. I didn't know
Yeah.
how to look out for the good apples and the bad apples and the rotten eggs, and you know what I mean. And honestly, I raised some money. Actually, I got my chat together and I said, "Come on, let's raise some money. Let's help this person." And we actually managed to raise the amount that they needed in that stream. And like for me at the time, I thought, "Oh, this is such a proud moment. I've helped someone. Like I've actually used my platform to help someone." And then literally a month later, that same person was begging in someone else's stream, same issue. And I was just like, oh my
Yeah.
God. And that person, even to this day, because this was like last year, but even to this day, every month it's the same. They'll go begging on
Right,
someone's
someone else.
stream for the same amount every time.
It's heartbreaking when you realize like your good intentions were misplaced.
Yeah.
Oh God, I felt, I can't even describe how I felt. I was gutted. Like I literally thought I was helping someone. I was really proud of myself for actually being able to help someone, considering I was a streamer with only about 500 people at that time, followers, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things. I think I was averaging about 2 viewers. So, that is not a lot of help. But I felt really proud that I was able to do it. And then just to find out that I'd been used, yeah, I was
Yeah.
absolutely, my heart had been wrenched out. Like, I'm quite stone cold to people who come in my chat begging now. I'm just like, nope, DM me later.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Gilbert, yeah. Honestly, can we start outing these folks? It was the only problem is
The only downside with that, Gilbert, is like the political long-term
Yeah.
consequences of doing that. Like the person, if I were to out them, they're in quite a few of the same stream teams I'm in, and it would be bad. Like it wouldn't reflect well on me. It
Not
wouldn't
only
reflect well on them either, but it'd probably come back worse on me for even saying it. So
Yeah. As Lofty said, it's creative suicide. Because
yeah.
not only that,
politics there. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who are more than willing to use people for their own personal gains. Yeah,
Said very
it's true.
passionately in the caps there.
Yeah, sorry, Caps. It's
But-
true. It's unfortunately, for every good streamer, every good viewer, you've got someone else who is a bit shady, as it were. Sorry,
Some people are
spoke
just
over you, Sol.
extremely
okay.
shady.
Going back a step, it's also naming and shaming. Like there are some very extenuating circumstances where that like protecting people is
Yeah.
first and foremost. But you have to be aware for every streamer, like I'm sure everybody in this room would not take advantage of people, but for every streamer who won't take advantage of you, there is somebody who will.
Yeah.
Who will name and shame people. It has been shown before. There are content creators out there who have stuck their viewer base on people just because they didn't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to be aware the kind of people that do name drop, it might not be for a good reason. And
A
this is
lot
when-
of people these days will name drop for clout, and I'm not about that. Not about that in the slightest.
I guess it's just when you're in the right circles, reputation is everything, right? knowing if they're a bad apple, like that's how you choose to go, that's how you choose to go forward, and just don't just shame them, just not invoice.
Stay
Like,
away from them.
no, they're pretty cringe. Let's not have them actually. Let's put them in the bag of shame.
The no bag.
Yeah, you're not allowed. You are not fun to be with.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. What was that? What did Gilbert say? I just think about it when it comes to people who do it to multiple people as opposed to one or two and just got it wrong. It makes sense. I get that, Gilbert. It's just, as we say, difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got to choose the right platform as well, because, like for example, here wouldn't be the good platform to just out people. It's,
Okay.
not what we do.
Okay. Sorry, but Doughnutworth, I think for once I may actually have to agree with you, buddy. That's everybody, like that is something that we never thought would happen. Agreeing with Doughnutworth.
The cat has uses.
Yeah. Very much so. I might give you a little list later, buddy, okay?
It's like Optic said there. Although you'd like to name them, it's not the right thing to do in that
No,
situation.
it's not. And in most cases, even though you naming them is supposed to be the good thing and the right thing to do, the way society works, it's so messed up that you actually doing the right thing reflects so badly on you that you end up in shit street for doing the right thing. It's really, really messed up thing to do. In every way, shape, or form of how it works. It's just you just can't. You just have to hold your tongue, rise above it, and be the better person.
Yeah. Oh God, the cat's threatening me. Can you hit it?
No, we're not doing gaming lofts pillows, and we're not doing Welshes either. Give me my phone back. Give me my phone back, you little punk, you. Give it. Oh, give. Sorry, guys.
Could we just put a bag over it?
I mean, yes.
Not the phone, the cat.
Yeah, we can put a bag over the cat.
That's all right then.
Yeah.
What did you say? Sorry, what did I miss from Gilbert there? Speaking of getting it wrong, I want to go back and apologise for what you said.
Bad. There is no cat. What do you want about?
Oh, and donut for a pillow's already been done. But yeah, it's difficult with so many bad eggs out there, and obviously there are people who will openly out people. I think a lot of us have seen it on Twitter recently with a certain person going around outing a lot of communities. But is that the right thing to do?
I think that's a tough one. I know exactly who you're on about, and I've seen a lot of their stuff, and I think where they've outed people who are actually a danger to society, I agree with what they did because it prevented them from being in that position anymore where they could be a danger. However, there are people that he has literally just gone after for very little reason other than, personal feuds or minor issues that he's decided to just be a complete asshat about. There's no other word for it really. And the worst part is he has got so much clout from it that obviously he's got his own partnership now. He's got he's got quite a large following out of it, and it's just like, how can people follow someone who is literally like that? It's so vindictive.
Yeah, it's not the best.
I mean, I get it.
Way to deal with things.
People love their drama. They'll chase it down with popcorn in hand. I get that, but it's just so. When someone is literally doing it to be vindictive, and you can see that they're only doing it to be vindictive, maybe it's just the kind of person I am. I don't know, but I just can't get behind that.
No, I know what you mean. It's as I say, it's a very difficult position to be in if you know something. What about you, Sol? What would you say?
I think one of the things to always bear in mind, as shitty as it kind of seems, is although creators provide a service and you can enjoy that service and you can take part in the community and you can enjoy that aspect of it, but they're not your friends.
No.
And there's
Exactly.
there are people who will prey on that divide. They are a person with a life that you might not necessarily be a part of outside of
Yes.
their chat. Like they can enjoy your company being a part of your stream and your community. And it's that kind of that hard position to be in, especially as like I am the babyest streamer here, so it's not really a position that I've had to be in. But there's a word for it. Something
Parasocial?
parasocial.
Yeah,
Thank
that's it.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parasocial relationships. You
Yeah.
have to be really aware of them because people will take advantage of it. They absolutely will take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And the other side of it is a lot of the time when you see scams and stuff, you'll get people say, "Oh, I don't know how anyone could fall for it." The
It's
problem with it is
quite
anyone can
easy,
fall
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are not immune. Nobody is immune to the effects of anything. It's going back to that you just might be in a place now where you're either mentally or physically capable enough that you don't see how other people could fall for it. And
Mhm.
then when you're in that position yourself where you're grieving or you've lost a job or suddenly it makes sense
Yeah.
why people will coin flip their last little bit of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just people who are in a completely vulnerable state as well. There's a lot of scammers who will quite literally play the long game, and they will make you they will make themselves come across as your friend. They'll make themselves come across as trustworthy. They will make you believe in them in every way possible, and then they'll take that money from you,
Hmm.
knowing what they've done. Like, so they are just vile. There's no other word for a scammer than just vile, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a really difficult situation to be in, and like I say, they can get everyone. I mean, I'm a techie, okay? I don't program software or apps like Tuna. I'm very much a hardware girl. I build computers from scratch, and I have cybersecurity training because that was part of my old job because I did the builds, but I also did like tech support, desk support, and I had cybersecurity training. They still got me. And
Yeah.
funnily enough, cybersecurity training was the only reason I was able to get my stuff back as quick as I did. But they still got me. Like no one is safe. You could literally know how to hack a PC yourself, or how to do the scams yourself, and you still probably get scammed by someone plugging the exact same scam as you. You know what I mean? Like it's
You're
it's a
one
lot
risky click
easier.
away.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. All you have to do is click the wrong link, man, and you know it'll take stuff, whether it's your money, your
Yeah.
details, or otherwise. Like.
It's as obviously you've said yourself, Pascal, you were caught with a scam. Has anyone else been hit with one before? Or had any
Don't be
Yep.
embarrassed. Like I
No.
know, like it's embarrassing to like kind of own up to being a scam, but don't be embarrassed. Own it because all you've done is you've learned a really good lesson.
It's a
So
difficult one, but yeah.
I haven't fallen for one,
Yeah.
but I have unfortunately worked side by side with an industry that's rife with it. So my old job when I was well enough to work was funeral care, right? Loved the job, absolutely adored most aspects of it. And this is one of the places where people don't really think about it because who wants to think about end of life? And if this is too grim for the stream,
No.
I'll shush now. Um, so two things that are really, really common in the funeral care industry are funeral care packages and funeral insurance. Funeral insurance, 9 times out of 10, like, is a scam.
Mm.
'Cause
I have to
Mm.
agree. Funny enough, my dad works in insurance. And his job is actually against insurers. Because
Mhm.
in most cases, insurance is a scam. Like you have to have it. It's a legal thing. You have to have insurance. But most insurance companies will try and scam you out of your money because of the way the insurance system works. It's disgusting. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
No, absolutely, you are 100% on the money. So there are different kinds of funeral care plans. Um, there are set price plans that are usually with a funeral care company. So you will approach them, you'll say, I want this funeral, I want this stuff in it, and they'll quote you the price. Then you pay that. Once it's paid up, they give you the documentation. You are entitled to that funeral no matter how much prices change. Then you have funeral insurance, which promises that if you pay in X amount each month, then they will ensure that your family gets something. Most of the
Yeah.
time, if you read the fine print, it's you might get enough for a basic funeral. And like funeral care prices are rising constantly, so that is
Mm.
something to be aware of. But they'll get people to pay in for anywhere between 5 to 10 years plus £30 a month, and then that racks up.
Mm. A lot
And
of them
when
have a clause as well that if you don't actually manage to make the full years of payment, so like say the clause is 10 years and you
Mhm.
die before the 10 years happens, because you've not fully paid into it, they actually will often refuse you that part as
Yep,
well.
It's disgusting.
it is. It's incredibly predatory. So even institutions that are considered trustworthy, it is always worth doing your research and making sure that other people, like even if it's a brick and mortar store, checking reviews, checking Trustpilot scores, and being skeptical. It may seem OTT, and there are times where like being overly cautious can absolutely be the wrong call.
Mm.
But most of the time, taking 5, 10 minutes to double check something and to make sure that you feel content with it, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially a certain over 50s plan that gets way overplugged on the TV. That's one of those that has that clause, by the way. If you die before the so
Yes.
many years is up, they won't give you the pension pot. But hey, you'll have your free Parker pen, so you're all good, right?
The place that I used to work at, that I will not name for legal reasons, they got us to plug that repeatedly, and I point blank refused to because, yeah. And it's like a lot of these places, funeral care, they would offer you a premium. If you sold the packages to people, they'd pay you out.
Yeah.
And it incentivizes people to push it because they want the money. And it's the same with a lot of call centers. Some of them get premiums for selling you better internet packages or selling you phones or things like that. So it's definitely something
Yeah.
to be aware of.
Another thing to be aware of, which is a bit of a scam, is I don't know if any of you have noticed more recently since COVID. Now that obviously GP services are kind of closed off now, um, they've started doing. I don't know if you've seen them advertised on TV. But there's companies now that will do blood tests for you. They'll do a full medical blood test check for you, and it's free, providing they don't find anything in your blood test. However, they're gonna absolutely find something in your blood
Yeah.
test because they're just gonna say something's there when it isn't. Like these
Mhm.
these companies are not NHS endorsed medical companies. You know what I mean? Like, and they're probably not even fully, you know, practice endorsed either by the wider medical body, you know, the WHO and all that,
Yeah.
World Health Organization.
Also,
So you
companies
have to
like
be,
that, they don't have to have a privacy policy equivalent to the NHS, so they
no,
can sell your medical information. They
yeah,
will.
yeah, they will. There's no kind about it. They will, 100%, most definitely. And so you have to be really, really, really careful. really careful. Like, I know it sounds really good. Oh, they'll give you a blood test and they'll do all this medical checkup for you, but they're doing it for two reasons. One, they want to sell your data. Two, they want to just put stuff on your medical records to squeeze money out of you. Like, it's really bad, so be careful out of that.
I know. We're going on more of a gaming thing. I had my WoW account hacked when I was back in Burning Crusade era.
Damn.
Before the existence of authenticators and all that. Yeah, I had my WoW
Same with my
account hacked.
Neopets, mate. Neopets. Oh,
I've had
cut.
many
That's a deep
many
cut.
game accounts hacked when I was younger. Luckily, though, I've always been really lucky. I've always been able to get them back.
Yeah, I was lucky.
I got one time actually. This is the best result scam story you'll ever hear. Okay, I got my WoW account once hacked by a gold farmer. Nonetheless, this is back in the vanilla days, right? When even having a little bit of gold in vanilla meant you were rich as fuck. But I got my account hacked by a gold farmer, and I managed to get my account back. But I managed to get my account back so quickly that the gold farmer hadn't actually been able to empty my bank of all the gold they put there. So I went back into my account and I had basically the maximum amount of gold you could have on vanilla at the time, which I think was about 99999. I'm not sure because they've made it bigger since, but like, yeah. And I just remember looking at that and my jaw dropped, and I just thought, yeah, I'm minted.
I had something very similar happen. When I was hacked, I managed to get the account back. They froze the account. Got back in, and they hadn't sold anything on. Blizzard had locked the account before the hacker had been able to share anything. So I ended up with thousands of gold, equipment that I could have never have had before. It was fantastic. I even messaged Blizzard to say, yeah, there's a load of stuff still on my account. Do I keep it? Yeah, keep it. They go. It's like brilliant. So I was quite happy.
Bears just lovingly reminded me of my jammy rule, so now I have to draw on myself later.
Oh.
I have a rule in my stream, guys, where if someone shares or does anything that's really jammy, they get drawn on.
Oh.
And obviously I just shared a story that was really jammy, so
Orange has just said he's had his Blizzard account locked multiple times for selling WoW accounts, and he doesn't play WoW.
Oh damn. This is awful.
And yes, I remember Optics mentioning this before. He reported that he had his DBD account hacked and they banned him for it.
Yeah, that's so
it is a bannable offense if you do look in the terms of service. If you do get hacked,
yeah,
you're banned. Just so you know, that's
it's a really rubbish terms of service, though. Let's be honest. Like, they're supposed to help you. Like...
There's also the funny side of some of the scams, the really obvious ones. I don't know if you've ever encountered, like, obviously we get everyone who's on Instagram has had the offers of affiliate partnerships with some random brand.
Hi, will you sell these earrings? Cool.
Yep, that was a good one.
DM.
My personal favorite was when they said my brand would perfectly fit. Bearing in mind I'm a horror streamer, a male horror streamer. And your brand fits totally with us. We'd love to have you as an ambassador. Oh, what do they sell? They're selling lingerie. Yep, that will be a horror.
I had an Instagram DM once, bearing in mind that I'm female, a cosplayer, and a gamer, and basically they came up to they DM me and were trying to offer me, a brand sponsorship selling male shaving cream. I was just like, what?
Now I'm paranoid.
Think I'm your target audience somehow.
What have we got in the chat there? Optics. Thing is, with DVD, I know I can roll back the save. So yeah, exactly. They're just can't be bothered.
It's lazy, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just lazy. Lazy game devs.
I'm sure you'd look lovely, Welshie. You'd be quite scary in their merch. I'd say it's a perfect fit. Yep. Thank you, Donutsworth. Back in your cage. Orange is asking, male shaving cream, how thick was your moustache back then, Pastel?
Oh, you know, it was the thickest. It's all about big dick energy I have, you know.
Lofty. I've had jewelry brands say the same to me about fitting. Why don't we actually have a poll in chat Streamseed about if anyone's been hacked? Has anyone been scammed? That could be an interesting poll.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
Optics.
One
After
other
what-
thing in terms of like scamming on Twitch, there's a reason why. So what to give a bit of dev thing, one of the things that came out of it a little while ago is that NFTs are banned through Twitch extensions. Like that kind of interaction just can't happen basically because it's that much of a Wild West. Like no
Yeah.
wallet is safe kind of thing. And it's like that entire landscape is just ugh. No
Hive
thanks.
of scum and villainy. What did
Also-
Optics say there? After watching my content, a controller grips company thought my content really fitted with their brand. I play on mouse and keyboard.
You could take them on. Like
Just stick it on there.
yeah, like
In,
if they're willing to pay, like that's what they're getting for. That's like
Just
in regards to Mr. Donutsworth, Mr. Donutsworth's comment to you there, Welsh, just remember he hasn't got any. I think he's forgotten that.
this is true.
He has
Yeah.
been lovingly castrated by yours truly.
Optics is going to put his thumb grips on M1. Yeah, exactly, Jub. Enough duct tape to solve the problem. That's what life is about. Duct tape
Yeah.
fixing all the problems.
Is it supposed to move? No, use duct tape. Is it supposed to move? Yes, use WD-40.
Before we went live, I was telling everyone about a comedy email I had from what is quite clearly a scammer. I'll read a bit of an excerpt from it, which was hilarious. Basically, I had an offer of a collab from someone.
Oh boy.
I won't mention their brand just because it's what's that? Is the duct tape for your lingerie sponsor? No, the duct tape is the lingerie. No, I had this email. Hi, Mike. There you go. My name is Lucia, and I'm one of the creators of this app. Last time I checked your profile, I visually perceived you have not customized your LinkedIn bio page. Yep, that's clearly gone through some kind of Google Translate. They told me how they adored my content, and their designers has offered to make an out-of-charge and personalized bio page for me, which was great. So I just ignored them. But I got a reply there, a second email then, because this was a really persistent scammer. They replied with, sorry for messaging you, but as the founder, I just have to know, is there something I can improve? We're always trying to improve. As a top creator, you know how hard it can be to build your brand. I appreciate your reply. Also, if you just want me to stop contacting you. So I ignored them. And guess what they did again? They emailed me a third time.
Oh my gosh.
And the third time was my personal favorite email. Just a quick super follow-up in order not to waste your time. Never mind, you've already done it, but there we go. I'm 100% sure you'll like our new page. Have a look. Can I please share it with you? Otherwise, my designer will burst into tears. They went full in with emotional blackmail. They didn't even send me a link to anything, even though they were asking for a link in bio. I am a bad man for making the scammers cry.
There's a YouTube channel I quite like watching at the minute, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's something like I can't remember. It's like Scam Back at You or something like that. Where basically, those like famous like call centers in a located in a certain country in Asia that I won't name for reasons, but I think you all pretty much got where I'm going with this. So it's those type of call center scams, and he literally answers the phone. He speaks the same language as them, and he literally scams them back and takes all their money when they try to take his, and then he holds it ransom until they basically
Oh yes,
yeah. It's quite funny.
I remember a way back when.
That's
Obviously,
it. Scam the payback. That's the one. Friggin' love him.
I remember a website years and years ago. It was all based around the old I'm a Nigerian prince emails.
Oh God, yeah.
And what it was called, what was it called? 419 Eater, I think the website was called, because 419 was the penal code in Nigeria it violated.
Wow.
And it was brilliant, this website, because literally it was all about them contacting the scammers, playing it up to be a naive imbecile, and then they wound them up. There was photos of them. I don't know how I can trust you. Can you take a photo of yourself with a loaf of bread on your head? And then they post them all over the internet.
The guy on YouTube I
Fantastic.
watched, Atomic Shrimp, who he records himself wasting scammers' time.
Oh, that's great. That's always
And
funny.
yeah, some of them, like, he plays up that he wants to be their friend and stuff like that, and it's very funny.
There's I've seen one, and it's like a guy who does he does like reverse prank calls. And when I say reverse prank calls, I mean he doesn't call people to do the prank. He waits for people to call him, and then he pranks them. So like there's one where a scammer basically called him, and he literally had the script ready, and he just goes, hi, this is Agent blah 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 of the FBI. You've just called an active murder scene. Please stay on the phone. You are now a suspect. And like essentially, but obviously in legal jargon. And like, oh my God, you've never seen these people like go so crazy, because obviously they feel like they have to comply, but at the same time, you can tell that they're freaking out internally. It's so good.
That's fantastic.
Oh. Yeah, he's just felt like, you've just called an active murder scene. You're now a suspect. Please stay on the line.
See, scammers even make us content, which is great.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Everyone loves to see a scammer get dealt with. Let's be honest.
Exactly. It's one of the best parts of it. Yeah. But yeah, this website was hilarious. It was literally as full of photos of they'd have them hold signs up with random messages on their chest and things like that, or even writing on themselves, just so they could gain their trust. And they're so greedy, they'll do it, and it's just brilliant.
Thank you for the follow, Bellicosity. I appreciate it.
Oh, so good, so funny. Yeah, like, oh, scabbers, man.
Oh, hi there, Belle. How are we doing, Kit? Belle or Kit, whichever one you prefer. So, has anyone got any other questions they'd like to ask anyone in the chat? We've got us visiting the awesomeness that is TwitchCon. Anyone got any questions about that they'd like to ask? Just throw it open to the crowd, see if there's anyone who's interested in anything.
I've just had my ticket turn up.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh man, mine still haven't.
No.
I mean, you might have it now.
Oh, what? As an email form?
Yeah, there'll be a QR code.
Oh, okay.
Let's have a look.
I'm gonna be nosy.
TwitchCon tickets, everyone.
Yes, I got it. I have got it. Yes. Ah, amazing.
There it is. We've got TwitchCon tickets.
No, Doughnut, do not hit that delete, but you little shit. No, he didn't. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gilbert. Yeah, we will be on doing as much as possible as doing a load of crazy stuff. we'll be
You can-
filling up Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna
oh.
like you won't be able to like if it's anything like Berlin, you won't be able to actually stream while you're there.
That's okay.
I had a look. They said there will be areas for certain areas
Yeah.
for streaming.
Basically, I think that's usually the booths, but I guess it
Yeah.
depends on what they've got. And then yeah,
It's all right.
it'll be,
I'm gonna like outside of a con hall where Twitch have no jurisdiction. I'm gonna be there with my camera
Fair.
going, "Hello, talk to me, please."
Well, I just had a message from someone who said they'd love to be a certain guest on a live stream.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, someone I'd love to have a chat with.
I've got
Is
a
there
couple of
any-
interesting people as well, to be honest. But
Oh,
I think
Streamseed has asked, have we been to Amsterdam before? And I'm a big no for that. It's
I-
completely new for
I-
me.
I haven't, but my friends have, and they have prepared me for everything that we could potentially get into in terms of situations.
What,
I've
like
been-
getting drunk and falling in a canal?
Yeah, and also going into the cafe and ordering the wrong type of brownie, if you catch my drift.
Yeah. Don't order those brown. Let's
Yeah,
just
no.
stay away from baked goods.
Yes.
I don't know where you guys are going to be looking at eating, but basically there's a place called Burger Bitch, which
Ooh.
looks incredible.
I love the name already.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Burger Bitch meetup, guys.
Yeah.
Pastel, tuna.
Yeah, yeah.
Are we down?
Let's do
The,
it. We'll stream our burgers.
Yeah, it looks incredible food as well. Like it's not just the meme of going there for and having a burger with bitch sauce on. Which is
that actually what they call their like house sauce? They call it bitch
yeah.
sauce.
Like,
Oh my
like,
god!
I don't need to make that. Like that's not me making it. That's not me doing a bit. That's me reading the menu. Like that's.
I love it. Yeah, we're going there. Well, we're going there.
Definitely.
You have no
Yeah.
choice in this.
Oh,
was,
I do, and the choice is to go there.
Good, because I'm if you didn't want to go, I'd have to put on my bossy pants, and then that'd be.
Well, what's this? We've got there's a back alley chicken shop that's awesome. Streamseed, it does sound sketch, especially with certain back alleys in Amsterdam. What else have we got in chat there? Let's scroll back up a bit. Gilbert, listen, if you pour water on you, I'll give you more tickets. Scammers.
I've not been Amsterdam, I've been Rotterdam, and basically they've got instead of like you go into like a takeaway place, they've just got a chef behind it's basically a vending machine, but like a chef behind it.
Yeah.
It's very
Okay.
bizarre. Where basically they'll just put hot food in like the slots of a vending machine, and you're just like, oh, I want that one, and you're like, oh.
That sounds like
strange.
even more mad than Tokyo, because like
Yeah.
in Tokyo they obviously have the vending machine. Like you decide what you want in terms of a meal. You get the ticket out of the vending machine. You take it. The waiter obviously will seat you and then take your ticket, and then whatever you've ordered will just come to you after. Yeah.
The one I went to in Tokyo, basically you've got like you pulled like you set where you wanted it for the meal, and then you'd go and post it through a letterbox sort of thing behind like a curtain
Amazing.
between you and the chef.
Yeah,
and
they
then
have
like your
that
food,
as well.
then your food would just come out. It's absolutely bizarre, but a great food.
Yeah.
How absolutely bizarre. Yeah, because like Pastel mentioned the one in Tokyo. I've been to something like that as well. Which was bizarre enough.
Fairly
It was
common
like-
in Tokyo, to be honest, because they don't have the manpower, so they automate a lot of their systems. And in restaurants, that's just what they do. They have the chefs. They have because the restaurants are typically quite small. They don't want all these waiting staff tripping over each other in the restaurant, so they'll probably just have one seater, maybe two if it's a bigger one,
yeah.
and they just bring out the food as and when the ticket service is ready. It's very
There
clever.
was the one I went into. There wasn't even any seaters. It was literally the vending machine was on one wall, the door was at the front, and then there was just a U-shaped sort of counter with seats
Okay.
around it, and in the middle was a chef. You pressed the
Yeah.
button, got the ticket, gave it to the chef, and he handed you your food over the counter.
Easy.
That was great.
Yeah, they have loads of different ones. I love the ramen shops in Nakano Broadway though, because you can go get a massive bowl of ramen for like 300 yen, which is about 30p.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I remember how cheap the sushi was out there. It was great. But back to Amsterdam.
Yes, back to
Yes.
Amsterdam. Sorry, we got off on a tangent about food again. We always do this.
Food is good. And Burger Bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, Burger Bitch.
yeah, Burger Bitch meetup.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
The Streamseed Burger Bitch collab.
Yes.
Streamseed
Burger Bitch for new Streamseed partner.
Lofty, is that like smack me bitch up?
No, it's more saucy, I guess.
Hey.
There's more set meals.
Bitch.
There's definitely more bitch sauce.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh,
Too good.
I am really looking forward to the trip though. It's gonna be intense, I think. It's
gonna be amazing. Dribble it on
so
me.
actually, that's
my
a
God,
good
Lofty.
question. From someone who has done TwitchCon before, I know things that might be a bit different, but what are the swag bags like?
Obscene.
Yeah.
We like obscene. We like obscene
so-
swag bags.
Last time there was a few of them. But basically it's like make sure you're sub to Prime while you're there. If they do it, I don't know if they're doing a similar promotion where essentially you get like a little to-do list to go around all the stands and get like a stamp or sticker or something.
Yeah.
And then basically at the end of it, you hand in, you get another set of you just get a big bag of random stuff. It's great. I've got it still
Ooh.
lying around.
I'm sub to Amazon Prime. This is going to be great.
The last thing would be I got like some actual I got a bit token that actually gave it like 10,000. I think was it? No, it's just 1,000 bits
Yeah.
on a card, and it's it's shaped like 10,000, shaped like 1,000 bits,
Nice.
which is like kind of impressive, but on brand.
I want it.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good question there, Streamseed. Who are we going to raid?
Oh, that is a very good question.
Because we
isn't
are
it?
starting to wind up. So let's have a look while we're looking to who we can raid, let's do a little bit of a shout out for everyone who has been in the chat today. There's a possible one. Jamesy Plays is streaming. He's really good.
Literally just looking on my stream deck who's about.
So let's have a quick shout out for everyone who's been here tonight. So we've got Sol. Give everyone a quick shout out for yourself.
Hello, I am Soul the Shiny on Twitch and also on ArtStation. You can have a look at my art. I sometimes play League and other really obscure games, like Pathologic is my next one that I'm going to be investing in. And I play on a different stream. Shout out to Rorkanor on Mondays for D&D.
Awesome. And then we have Ghostly Tuner.
Hello. I'm pretty much streaming nearly every day. I do a lot of like live streaming of my coding and developing products live. So yeah, if you want to help influence the tools I make, come give us a follow and you'll see the full journey.
That sounds awesome.
And finally,
yeah, and I'm Pastor Ninja. I'm a little bit mad and I love my horror games. So if you guys want a chill place to come and hang out and be absolutely bonkers, then I'm your girl. You can catch me at Twitch /Pastor Ninja.
and of course, I am Welsh Ginger, guys. Welsh Ginger 3 on Twitch, as you might know.
The third.
The third, yeah, because
The third.
yeah, they always say first the worst, second the best.
So third's the guy with the hairy chest, right?
I wasn't going to go there.
I
was. But yes, I am Welsh Ginger, and
Welsh Ginger the third, because he couldn't spell it the first 2 times.
And I get trolled by Pastor. Thank you there for those shout outs, guys. Much appreciated. Yeah, so just as a massive plug, we will all, the 3 of us, me, Pastel, and Tuna, will all be at TwitchCon. I know me and Pastel are planning a massive splurge of content. So make sure you go follow stuff, because there'll be
Yes.
loads of stuff spammed, and I'm sure you've got loads planned as well, Tuna.
Yes, we've got the talk where we'd be introducing, well, just trying to get the conversation between streamers and developers together, try and bring something together. So yeah, if you look, it's on which theatre is it? I've got the details. So it's at 4:30 on the 17th.
Awesome.
So it'll be
Awesome.
late on the Sunday evening, well, evening-ish.
Ish.
I've got a link if you want to have a look. Am I gonna get banned? No, I didn't get banned. Hooray!
No.
There you
Hey.
go. Yeah,
And
there's a link. That's it.
we are going to be heading over to Jamesy Plays channel. I believe he's playing some Destiny. So make sure you give him all the hype you can, guys. Give him all that stream seed. He said stream base then. Stream base love as well, but stream seed love. Whoops. But yes, give him all the stream seed love. Go completely freaking mental. Hype him up and fill his chat with emotes, because he likes that sort of thing.
hyper, he's streaming and we're like, yeah.
But thank you everyone for being here, and let's how far are we off that ticker? Still going down. But thank you again to our guests, guys. You've been fantastic as always. Much appreciated for you being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank
yeah.
you so much for having me.
It's been
Pleasure.
fantastic. And until next time, guys, we will see you next week, where there will be even more content. So make sure you are in Streamseed's. Oh, no,
It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. It's all good.